Good morning, good morning. Oh, I'm enjoying the weather. It's 20 something, but I'll tell you, after you've been in 30, 38, 41, you like the cool weather. Let's, let's not crash into the van. Which way shall I go? It's tricky, see, because I like the windy way, but on the other hand, this way is like straighter and quicker, so let's do this for a change. So, how are you? All right, hope you're well. Another lovely day in paradise. I had no chairs when I went to work yesterday. All the tubing in my chairs is cracking and splitting. It's funny because it sort of, before it splits, it goes black. It's a blue, uh, it's a blue pipe, designed for compressors. And I should imagine it's the original uh, piping that was in the chair. I've got some Anthos chairs, and I mean, compared to today's Anthos chairs, my A5s or A4s or whatever they are, my A3s, they're like prototypes. The bottles kept bursting, and I suppose they're quite old. I've had the practice 10 years. I'd imagine they were bought 10 years before, so they're all the tubing is about 20 years old. So I'm not surprised it's lost all its plasticizer and got really stiff, and when it gets stiff, the movement of the chair naturally cracks it. So, but fortunately, I've got quite a technically handy dental nurse who's like an apprentice almost, where if we sort of figure out together how to fix something, and then we search the internet for spares, and we get down on our knees together and strip everything out. One of the things we did yesterday was that we had TV cameras on the chairs, and all the wiring for the TV cameras, which is basically a mains lead and two data leads, went all the way up through the arm. So and we were having trouble with there's so much that goes up through the arm: electricity, water, compressed air, data. Just stripping these three cables out of the arm has made it so much easier to get to the stuff that needs to be fixed, which is basically the compressed air side of things. Don't know what they're growing in that field. When we come round the corner here, you can see a field where they harvested the wheat yesterday. That's all gone now. That'll all be picked up and baled up soon. Yeah, so now I know what you're thinking, Angry. Why don't you just just make a phone call, get someone in, some dental, engineer to fix it all? Now, in my experience, dental engineers fall into two groups. One is the sort of, how can I put it, associated with dental directory or a particular chair manufacturer like Cavo, and basically what they're only interested in, they're a bit like your car main dealer. You buy a car new, comes with a 1-year warranty or a 5-year warranty or whatever, and all the technicians in the garage, you have to take your car back to that garage, and they've got all the expensive OEM parts and all the kit, all the stuff that they can plug in and diagnose the fault. And it's all right when it's all covered by the warranty, but after that it gets very expensive. And not only that, they're no good. There's no point taking a Citroen to a Ford main dealer or vice versa, because they haven't got the right plug sockets. So So and we found that out when we called out someone from Henry Schein, I think, to fix our Anthos chairs. And Anthos is a Italian manufacturer and pretty niche. So, there aren't. I can't really tell whether there are any Anthos distributors in the UK anymore. I don't know what they do. But anyway, they haven't got a massive network of engineers or anything. And certainly they're just not interested. It's like my old car here, it's 20 years old. I'm not going to be able to take it into a main dealer and say one of the plastic plugs has fallen out of the rear window. Can you get me another one? They're only interested in basically selling cars, and I like flipping cars that are less than 3 years old. If they take in an old car, even if it's their own brand, it's because they're going to just send it straight down the car auction. And, they'll give you a bit of a discount because they probably would have they're authorised to give you a bit of a discount if you trade something in. Because the mere act of trading something in has brought you into their dealership and caused you to buy a new car off them. That's where they get the profit from the car, not from reselling your highly valuable old banger. So that's the one type, and then the other type is the sort of the self-taught jack of all trades, Jack the Lad. A bit like the guy who used to service my chairs, and realised there was a bit of a demand locally for dental engineers, and so used to come in and basically bodge everything. I mean, literally, just bodge everything, keep the chairs going. Cut out bits of split pipe, use connectors to splice new short bits of pipe in. Used to couldn't connect things together, so if he had to put one pipe inside another pipe, used to do it by winding black electrician's insulating tape around the pipe until it was the right diameter, and then stuffing it in and hoping that jamming it in would give it an airtight seal and all that. So in neither case is there any point calling these people in. There's 0 point calling in people like Henry Schein, because all they do is come, they can't repair it, and then they try and send you a bill, which you then say you're not going to pay because all they did was come along, say they couldn't do anything, go away again. And you're not going to pay them £90 an hour travelling just to come and do nothing. And then there's the other type, the Jack the Lad type, who, to be honest with you, you will do a better job yourself. Now, obviously I have to qualify that slightly, because if something like the motherboard's blown up, then you might be better off finding someone who can replace the motherboard rather than trying to do that job yourself. But motherboards blowing up, I mean, they're all solid state. They're pretty stable, they haven't got any moving parts. It's the moving parts that break, and the moving parts of dental chairs tend to be the hydraulic lines, not so much the electrical wires, although after 20 years even they can wear and short. We've got a particular problem with a light in one of the chairs where it only works if it's at a certain angle. So that's indicative of something shorting out or a poor connection. But yesterday I had no chairs, and then by the end of the morning I had both chairs working, and that's simply because I wouldn't say we bodged them up, but what happened was we pulled the compressor line out of the module, the unit on the side of the chair, and out of the arm, and then because we'd sort of pulled it all out of the arm, we had plenty of pipe to play with, and so what we did was we used the time-honoured method of finding out where the split in the pipe was, cutting the pipe both sides of the split, and using a connector to stick it back together again. Hey presto, one chair that wasn't working, now working perfectly, but with compressed air routed externally rather than internally. Fortunately, not that obvious to the paying public, because the pipe goes around the back of the chair, so you can't really see it from the seated position. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to leave it like that. I mean, we are going to. It's not pulling out, is he? But what's happened is as I say, if you look on the side of the pipe, we've found out what type of pipe it is, and so we've ordered, God knows, 80 metres of it or something, I don't know. But the point is, we'll be able to completely replumb that bit and reconnect it and have it all working. The problem with these repairs is, especially if they've been done by bodgers, is that what they do is they, when they cut the bad bit of pipe out, try and reconnect the ends, they get increasingly short of pipe. So, and what they'll do is they'll try and pull a bit more out of the floor, or they'll try and pull a bit more out of the unit, try and stretch the pipe to close up the middle, because they haven't got the pipe to fill in the gap, or the time or the inclination to completely reroute the pipe with new pipe. And so they just tug away at this pipe until it's so there's absolutely no slack in it whatsoever. And then eventually there comes a point where you can't repair it anymore, because there is no slack to replace the bit that's split. Anyway, I'm feeling very laid back because my tablets, I'm on metformin, I'm on blood pressure tablet, statin tablet, and another tablet, tamsulosin or something, and another tablet, and they have this combined effect of lowering my blood pressure. So I remember during the pharmacology lectures at dental school, the lecturer said that people quite frequently don't take blood tablets that lower their blood pressure, because they've been the type A personality, and they find that they don't like being lethargic, and low blood pressure doesn't suit people. And I must say, I'm in the middle of something like that. I've got a blood pressure automatic cuff. And it takes my... I do an average of 2 readings in the morning and 2 readings in the afternoon. And I've gone from being 140 over 90 or 140 over 100 or whatever to being 111 over 59. And to give them their due, they did say, the doctor, that one of the biggest problems that they've got, one of the biggest sort of side effects of all these tablets is low blood pressure. And that's what I'm enjoying at the moment. I'm enjoying the last period in my life of extraordinarily low blood pressure. Which has 2 side effects. One is I'm getting postural hypertension. So in other words, exactly what you don't want when you're underneath the dental chair and you stand up and lift your toolbox, and then you have to go and sit down for 30 seconds until the stars and the moon stop going around your head. And the other one is just a tendency to stare into the mid-distance. So I can be sitting there thinking, oh, this is nice. I don't know whether it's Someone asked me the other day if I was smoking marijuana. Because I'm just so laid back, you know. I'm just so. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But I'm quite enjoying it. It's not an unpleasant feeling, you know, having low blood pressure. It's, you know, and seeing as my father had a stroke, I'm quite, you know, I'm not at all unhappy. Mind you, I mean, he was taking Viagra when he had the stroke. So I'm not so sure that strokes run in the family so much as being oversexed. But I think I blame his stroke on the Viagra more than I do on him having high blood pressure. Although he was a lifelong smoker, which I'm not. I never smoked. So anyway, there's a brief insight into my medical history there. So I'm feeling quite relaxed, you know. I mean, with a diastolic blood pressure of 59, 57 or whatever, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised. I'm like a helium balloon 2 weeks after somebody's birthday. I'm not surprised I'm relaxed. I'm surprised I can stand upright. But you know, we adapt, don't we? All humans adapt. I must say there's a third side effect, which again is not so welcome, and that is that you just don't feel like doing anything, you know. Excuse me. It's like you know that you need to cut the grass, but you just can't be bothered to get up out of the armchair and actually go and do it. Or you know you need to go and visit someone, but you just think, oh, not today. So that is a bit of a issue. But I think what I'll do is I'll get over that eventually. I'll get over it because I'll learn to overcome my new natural disinclination to do anything, or I'll get over it because things I need to do will become so urgent that they'll break through my fog, my stupor, and that little part of my brain which is still working at full pressure will say actually this is urgent. Like paying my Nest pension contribution, I didn't do that and went on holiday, and now they're sending me an email every day saying pay up. Tight. Well, it's a statutory shakedown, isn't it, Nest? Designed to cover up for the fact that state pensions have been abused by successive governments, and they can't afford to pay people enough to keep them alive when they finally give up work. And so they've had to force everybody to go into another pension. Here we are. Oh. Right. 2 chairs working. Nice to talk to you. I'll see you soon. Bye.